no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
First question from William Blair. We have to get Clowney or else Homeboy will be a threat to the nation. So I believe Homeboy is Jadeveon Clowney. And when I look at a lot of the other teams potentially linked to Clowney, you're looking at the Seattle Seahawks. I also think the Tennessee Titans are a team to monitor there. With the Seahawks being in the NFC, I don't know if it's that big of an impact. But with the Tennessee Titans being in the AFC, I do think that they are a team that, could end up pushing the Raiders. And I think no matter what team that he does go to, if it's not in the silver and black, yes, he's going to be a threat. He's a very talented player. He's a very good player. But right now, I think the top three destinations for Clowney, Seahawks, Titans, and now, yes, our Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to the next question here. We got from Robert, appreciate the super chat. Trade Tyrell, sign Clowney. I believe you mean add a vet, min, and then sign Antonio Brown. So first off, FAB. Sign AB at a vet minimum. I as much as you guys, I can't do it. I cannot bring Antonio Brown back to this team, even for a vet minimum, because at that point, you're dealing with so much BS. You're dealing with so much crap. And what does that teach all of your younger players about trying to change a culture? It means, no, you're not going to do that. So I don't want AB. Trade Tyrell Williams. That does end up saving $11.1 million. The issue is I don't think many teams want to trade for Tyrell for $11.1. Sign Clowney. Yes, you'd be able to free up some space. But ultimately, I think it's one chucky head on the Raiders going out and signing Clowney. Next question here, okay? For the people at Super Chat, I understand there's a lot of questions kind of rolling in. For the people at Super Chat, you kind of, jump the line. Just turned 21. How does the over-under work? Where should I start? Well, first off, I guess I just say happy birthday, over-under work, and where should I start? I don't really know what you mean exactly on the over-under, but I do have a place where you should start by clicking that sub button, Kevin, and also get a picture. So I promise you, you will not find another Raiders channel out there that keeps you more informed than the Raiders Report, okay? We do live shows every Tuesday, hopefully every Friday. I'm trying to be able to get to 49K subscribers by next Tuesday because, last week I couldn't do a show on Friday because we didn't hit the mark. And believe it or not, yes, this is my full-time job, and we don't hit numbers, just like y'all's jobs. Sometimes you don't get what you want. So the link is below. Hit that sub button, and if you want, share the video. That also helps. Let's go to Charles Brown. What's up, man? How often do you think we'll be in 3 tight end sets with Bowden and Jacobs in the backfield? Okay, so I would say the fact that Gruden has already mentioned that he does plan to have a lot of 3 tight end sets, I would expect them to run, definitely more than what they did last year. Also, in terms of Jacobs and Lynn Bowden being in the backfield, that's more of a special kind of, I'll say, wildcat, if you will. I would expect if we're going to run 3 tight end sets, you're going to just see a lot more of Ingold and Jacobs because as Gruden literally quoted saying, don't be surprised if they run a lot of 3 tight end sets. Don't be surprised if they use a lot of Alec Ingold and Josh Jacobs. But we do have 3 great tight ends, which y'all can see on screen. Let's go to the next question here on the Raiders Report, and make sure y'all are using #Raiders, or you can super chat to the 740 people watching. There's a lot of questions coming in right now, and yes, if you want to get on the show, the easiest way to do that is super chat. How would you feel about Kaepernick signing with us? Well, first off, if you're going to say his name, at least spell it right. It's with a K. How would you feel about Kaepernick signing with us? I honestly wouldn't care. If he makes our team better, that's great. If you'd ask me right now, Colin Kaepernick or Nathan Peterman, I would take Colin Kaepernick because I think you could get Kaepernick for cheaper than what you could get Peterman because right now we're paying Peterman $2.13. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about taking care of my Peterman, but I would much rather have Colin Kaepernick than Nathan. So would I be okay with it? Sure. Why not? Let's go to the next question here. What do we got? Patrick Sways. If Lamarcus JOYNER'S struggles early on, do we cut him to save cap room for next year or try and trade him for nothing? Well, you always try to trade before you cut. And actually, the Raiders end up saving a lot more money by trading JOYNER than just by outright cutting him. And when I really look at the numbers from JOYNER, 2019 was a rough year. What we paid for was 2018. Well, guess what? We didn't get that. And according to PFF, he was rated 111 out of 113 nickelbacks. That ain't great. That's even worse than the band Nickelback. So I want the Lamarcus JOYNER I paid for. And honestly, if he can't produce, I don't think they end up cutting him. I don't think they're going to be able to trade him. I think what the realistic option is, you play Amik Robertson, who you went out and drafted 139 overall in this year's upcoming draft. So JOYNER, show up, or guess what? you will no longer be on the team next year. That's a fact. So, honestly, Joyner, I don't know if he's the best fit. So, what I'm trying to do is find what fits you best, right? So, what's the better hat type? Are you all about the fitted, type F for fitted, or are you about the snapback, type S? So, while I was home, I'm digging through all these, like, old things I had. I'm going through my old high school yearbook, old baby pictures, and then what did I find? All these old hats that I had, and you know what? They were a lot fitted. But now I'm more of a snapback kind of person. So, F for fitted or type S for snapback. I'm seeing a lot of fitteds. Okay, well, luckily for you, I got deals on both fitted, snapbacks, and beanies as well. If you need a new hat, if you need a new Raiders hat, go to chatsports.com/Raiders hat because they are as low as $16.79. So it's chatsports.com/Raiders hats, S on the end. Now, we got the fitteds, we got the snapbacks. This one, personally, the Oakland Raiders one that you see on screen, that one's going quick. I believe there's only a few more of that one available, so if you still want to rep your team from Oakland, hey, please go do it. If you want the draft hat, that one is also available. Some of these are 30% off, but if you go to the link that you see below and in the comments, you'll be able to pick through like 20 different hats. This is only a handful of the ones that I saw. So hat deals as low as $16.79. They got fitted, beanies. If you're, I don't know, in a cold area like North Dakota, like my cousin, hey, go get yourself a hat. It's at chatsports.com/Raiders hats, but it is a limited time. The 30%, I believe, ends in a few hours. So hurry up, take advantage of these deals. All right, let's get back into some of these Q&A. All right, we got 800 people watching. Make sure you're using hashtag Raiders. Jeff, I'm one of my most loyal watchers. I know you know what's up. Do you see Ferrell ever living up to his potential? I don't know if it's ever living up to his potential. I think we want to see Ferrell live up to the draft pick. I think that's like the more right question, right? Because when you're drafted in the top 5, you expect top-end production. You expect production like a Nick Bosa, like a Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a player where, I really wanted Josh Allen, I'll be honest, over Clelin. And I thought Clelin was more of a late first-rounder, not top 5. If Clelin can't get, honestly, up into that 7-sack range almost every single season, I do think it's a little bit of a waste. Now, last season, he was 262 pounds, got food poisoning, lost like 15 pounds in London. This season, reports are that he's up to, I almost said 700. Reports are that he's up to 275 pounds, ready to bulk up. But in terms of production in college, he was one of the best defensive ends, and I'm hoping with more talent around him where he's finally going to be able to live up to it. Let's go to the next question here. What do we got, guys? What do we got? Raiders B. Get a picture. If Gruden is willing to spend big, still, why don't we get Logan Ryan, who will be a lot cheaper than Clowney and will be around $9 a year? Honestly, I wouldn't pay Logan Ryan $9 million a year. The only reason why I don't really think it makes a lot of sense to go out and get Logan Ryan, because if you look at the numbers, right, he had 18 tackles. He was also the most highly targeted cornerback last year, and he wouldn't play on the outside. He would be a little bit more of that nickel, and if you play him in the nickel, what does that mean then for Meek Robertson? What does it mean exactly for Lamarcus Joyner? Logan Ryan last year gave up over 900 yards receiving and like 6 touchdowns. I get that he put up good numbers on the surface, but when you really look at the actual numbers, Logan Ryan struggled last year. So for me, I'm not going to pay him $9 million, and there's no way I'm going to do that. Let's go to the next question here on the Raiders Report from Eduardo. What's up, man? You're really looking in the camera. It's like this, right? Mitch, would I trade Gabe Jackson for Clowney? Hell to the yes. So basically what you're saying is this. Would you trade Gabe Jackson, which then frees up about $9.6 million, or maybe it's like 9.35, it's one of the two numbers, to another team in order then to have that money to go out and sign Clowney? The real issue here is this. The Raiders, since I believe April 25th, have been saying, we are going to keep Gabe. And they have. And if you've watched the show for a long time, I really did think that the Raiders are going to move on from Gabe. The only issue is it's like, what would you be willing to give Gabe Jackson up for? Because in my opinion, with his injury history, with some of the other things that's happened with Gabe, if you're going to end up trading him, I think right now you're going to get like a 4th, maybe, probably a 5th, maybe 4th round pick. Because that's what the Raiders were asking for during the draft. And they weren't even able to get it during the draft. So if you're not willing to give up a 4th or 5th, honestly, you're not really going to get anything in return for Gabe Jackson. So who's the better defensive end, Jadeveon Clowney or Maxx Crosby? And we are going to be talking a lot about Clowney here coming up in a little bit. I'll talk about some moves that the Raiders could potentially make in order to free up some cap space to go out and get the guy. Now, both of these players are good, right? There's no doubt. I would say last season, Crosby had 10 sacks. Clowney had 3. Who's better in the run game? Clowney's a better run defender than Maxx Crosby is. I mean, it's kind of just a fact at this point. as much as I love Maxx, I am a little bit worried about a little bit of a regression, and also in terms of numbers for Clowney, it wouldn't surprise me if he would be up in the 7-8 sack range this upcoming season when you look at his pressures, we look at his hurries, because he did have more pressures, he did have more hurries than Crosby. But both players are very talented, and no surprise, I'm seeing a lot of M's, and yeah, go check out the Rumors video. I'll tell you which guy I think's better. All right, let's go to the next question here. We got Raider24 Nation. Hey, Mitch. Hey, Raider24 Nation. Do you think Ruggs puts up 74 catches and 900-plus yards? So, 74 catches to me is a little high. 900 yards is still a little bit high as well. When I did my original Henry Ruggs projection, I had him around like 750 yards. I had him around 850 total yards. I do think he's going to be used in the offense, and I do think he's going to also be used as a decoy. However, I just don't really believe that he's going to get that many chances simply because that's not how this Raiders team wants to work. They want to work through the run game, not so much passing. But Henry, he's going to have a good year. He's going to be able to add a lot of talent to this offense. Next question's coming in from Jalen Campbell, looking fly. If the Raiders need anyone, it's Jamal Adams. If you'd ask me right now, Jamal Adams or Jadeveon Clowney, yeah, I'm going to take Jamal Adams in a heartbeat. Obviously, though, if you're going to go out and get Jamal Adams, you got to give up probably, let's say, a first and like a third-round pick to get him. Do I like Demarius Randall a lot? Yes. Do I think Jamal Adams and Jonathan Abram would be incredible? Yes. If you add a player like Jamal Adams, there's no doubt that that can really help transcend a defense. And, you know, when Gruden says, knock on wood if you're with me, or in changing chemistry, it's all about going out and getting players like Jamal Adams. The only issue is Jamal Adams has already listed the teams that he wants to play for. The Raiders weren't one of them. So what does that mean? You probably have to give up even more than some of the other teams that he wants to play for. And I think if you'd ask Adams what teams does he want to go to, it's the Cowboys. So if you really want a guy that wants to be on the Cowboys, Amari Cooper. Let's go to the next question here. Rage Caden, what's up, dude? Will the reunion of Littleton and Joyner help out our defense since they were on the Rams Super Bowl team? I don't really know if I would look at Littleton and Joyner being able to help out the defense like in the way you're saying. It's a much different defense, right? And as much as I'm hoping Paul Gunther can get it together, as much as I like Rod Marinelli, I think Wade Phillips is one of the best defensive minds in the National Football League. And what he was able to get out of Littleton and Joyner, I don't know if we're going to be able to get that Joyner this upcoming season. Just because he doesn't fit, I think, our defense very well. And I'm hoping he does end up playing a little bit better. He needs to, or else he's not going to be on the team next year. Littleton, I'm confident in because Littleton's going to put in the work. Joyner, to me, though, did look very, very lost. And ultimately, I don't know if he's ever going to be a good fit. But we can have our fingers crossed, can't we? Because if he doesn't end up panning out, he will no longer be a member of this team. That's 100% a fact. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I do want you guys to hit that sub button. We need to get to, 50K subs by the end of the month. So if you haven't, please hit that sub button. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.